Mancini with Eating Las Vegas. One more time, this is one of the things out of this is 9th or 10th video I've shot. The first appearance by Mr. John Curtas, my co-author. John, how are you? Thanks for actually showing up for one of these.
Drunk again.
Yeah, well, what else is new, John? What else is new? This is kind of really cool for us because most of these I've been going and interviewing chefs, but now we got me, we got John, we got the ladies, and the coolest part about this is one of those very special things that people get to see when, where people get to see the cool stuff we get to do behind the scenes. I mean, these are the experiences the average person doesn't always get. John, why did you bring us out here tonight?
We are going to eat a steak that was a dry aged steak that was put up for dry aging in October 2009. That makes it a 15-month-old dry aged steak. You know, these 30-day aged steaks, they're mere tykes. This is the real McGillicuddy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and this is crazy. You know, we said in the book, you love the Riserva here, which is about 6 to 8 months dry age. That's incredible. When I was writing the book, I hadn't even tried that yet. I love the regular 6-week dry age steaks.
The regular dry age stuff are great, but this is steak on a whole different level tonight.
So yeah, so we're gonna hopefully the chef will come out and chat with us a little bit about it.
Will do. Yeah, we're gonna.
I'll keep your mug on camera most of the night tonight, and we'll get this stuff done.
All right,
and
great.
people will actually see how cool it is to be us. Okay. So yeah, we enough of John Curtas's ugly mug. We got Chef Zach here from Carnevino, and he is the man who runs the show for Mario Batali here at Carnevino. A genius, mad genius, who made the book. There's John's ugly face again. So Zach, tell us about the aging stuff that you do here, man. It's crazy.
So I started around playing with pork about 10 years ago, and then we decided why not do the same thing with beef. We do our own beef here in Vegas. I'd like to say we're the only steakhouse in Vegas. I know that some steakhouses are having other facilities age for them in Vegas, but we're the only one that does 100% control ourselves. We do a little unorthodox. We go a little cooler than a lot of people do, and with a lot of humidity. And then we find some beef that we think is what we call Riserva, or able to go a long ways. Yesterday morning, beef arrived. 2,000 pounds of beef came in yesterday. That 2,000 pounds, I found 70, 140, 200 pounds of it, which is actually a pretty good yield of Riserva beef yesterday. You know, it's marbling, it's eye size, it's fat on the outside, it's all little things. And then we let that beef go typically 8 months before we will put our stamp Riserva on it. Every once in a while we get a little busy, we forget about it, like the beef that we have tonight, which is going to be 15 months. And
that's, you know, to put it in context, first of all, a lot of chefs don't even serve dry-aged beef because it's an intense flavor. Some people think it's too intense. Even when it's dry-aged 21 days or 28 days, some people can't handle that intensity.
Definitely.
Now we're talking 15 months. I mean, that's a whole other...
It's not funk, it's intense. You get that umami, you know. It's the only food that I know of that you can, the same way you describe Barolo wine, you can describe this Riserva. The leather notes, the mushrooms, the fungus, it's the same way. It's the only way I've ever found. Today we're gonna do something special. We're gonna do filet, but we've done the filet where we've aged it actually for, this filet is aged 9 weeks in the bag wet. Then we've done a porterhouse that was slaughtered in mid-December last year. New York that was slaughtered on the 8th of October, and then we have the one that's from October 1st of the previous year. So you'll see a great difference in all that. Four steaks.
Four steaks. 4 steaks for 4
Well, there's 4 people. They're all small steaks. They're all underneath 1.5 inches.
What percentage of your customers order the reserve steak?
It's tough because we only have it on, you know, since we have such a small amount, we try not to push it. We try to let the customer come to us because it is...
Well, I was on a flight with somebody and I was talking about it. You know, actually I was plugging my book, first of all, but I mentioned, he asked me about steaks. I told him about your Riserva, and I told him, you know, he was only going to be here for a day, and I said, as soon as you land, make the phone call, because you a lot of times need to call in advance to get that, right?
Call, like, if I know I have an interest of it, if I have it ready, I'll go offsite and get it for him. But I'm not just gonna. I don't want to have my waiters push on people because it's first, it's an expensive steak. Second, it's something that a lot of people aren't gonna like. You know, that like you said, the 21-day age beef for some is just too much. My girlfriend, she's like, no way.
What do you think of wet age beef?
It has its purposes.
It does. I mean, John will say that it doesn't do anything. I say it does tenderize it. It does tenderize it. It definitely tenderizes.
And I think a lot of people wet age way too long. We wet age minimum 5 weeks. Like the stuff you're going to taste today is 9 weeks. It really breaks it down.
And for the most part, fillet, you want a fillet not to be dry aged, correct?
You want to, cut it with your fist.
Yeah, a fillet is going to be a wet aged
for
beef.
people that don't like steak. That's what I'm always talking about.
Okay, well, I'm going to cut out of here, but I'll let you guys still keep arguing about things, and I'll chime in from time to time.
That's cool.
So go ahead, John. So yeah, this is people don't understand that the intensifying of the flavor when you dry age is because it
becomes
contracts.
like ham. It becomes like ham. It's like the moisture it leaves, and the meat becomes more condensed. And they don't coat it in salt or anything. It's just naturally dry aged in a giant warehouse, and it just gets more and more intense, and the grain gets finer and finer until it almost gets like beef, like a well-aged ham is what it comes across it. And it's an acquired taste. I mean, it's not for everybody.
Oh, I love dry aged beef, but there are other people who just can't stand it. So,
but it'll be something when we taste it.
Doug Zemensky, dining room manager, Carnevino.
Okay, and look at this.
So October 1st, 2009. This has been aging since.
Wow.
I was thinking about it today. This thing was already past your industry standard.
Now that was
covered 2 Thanksgivings ago.
Yeah, 2 Thanksgivings ago.
Yeah, 2 Thanksgivings ago. This was already past standard.
And I know it's heavy, Doug, but it's also was filled with. It was covered with a lot more mold. We had to
Absolutely, yeah. We've cleaned it up a little bit, and as you can see, this fresh cut right here on the side.
Right.
As we took it in the back and cut it down.
But it actually has sort of like a moldy crust on it, almost.
Absolutely.
Like a cheesy crust.
Yeah, you can almost see a little bit more on this side.
Yeah.
Let's fill it up closer.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, there you go. That is the beauty.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the part that looks more delicious.
Well, I hate to tell you, Doug, we can't eat the whole thing. We're just going to get a portion of that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, one more picture.
Sure.
Fillet on the plate. That's the 9-week wet age. Then Kirk's finishing the porterhouse. So that is slaughtered mid-December, right near Christmas time, actually, close to the end of December. So that's our typical 5-week age, 5 to 7-week age. Then you have here, which is 10-8 of 10-8-10, New York, and then you have the 10-1-09 ribeye.
This is John finally digging into the 15-month-old steak.
15-month-old steak. I'm going to want to get pretty much the center of it. It looks, you can see, it's got a rather mild. It's not as gamey as I thought it would be, but it's got a roasted beef funk to it, which is wonderful. Very rich.
Yeah, I just tried it. I got to agree with you. It's pretty amazing.
The richness is off the charts. Yeah. Now, hold on a second. Just keep on the. Now, let's try.
Now, this is 4 months, which by normal human standards is unbelievably aged.
This looks more like the year-old stuff I've had. It looks more like ham. This looks like it's going to be gamier, funkier, more minerally. Oh my God. God, yeah.
Okay, on that note, I'm going to dig into this. John, you're shooting next time, and I'm doing the eating.
Okay, all right.
No, not today. Just say goodbye to the nice people.
Goodbye.
Okay, shameless plug time. John, go for it.
Gee, Zach Allen, what is your favorite restaurant guide?
Well, it just happens to be here in my hand, eating Las Vegas. Happens to have 2 great restaurants that we're in, and as well, some of my top favorites.
All right, very good.
Thanks a lot. Shameless plug accomplished.
That's us.